don't want to be married? What questions do you have? Parenting, if you're co-parenting, if you've been divorced, I'm here for it. Close second, right? Ooh, what you got the other one again? It ain't the same. We talking about wine in here, y'all. Y'all got your glasses? All right, I'm gonna share to my page, and I'm about to go live myself. Let's do it. Y'all ready? That's it. Cheers, cheers. We are here. Happy Thursday, everyone. It's Thursday. It's 7 o'clock p.m. That means you're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And it's just me and y'all tonight. I just wanted a chance. I needed some quality time. Some quality time with my people, my Syn-seis. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I call my people my Syn-seis because we are mastering our goals, our future, all of our personal development, and all of our relationship areas, whether it's parenting, dating, marriage, friendships, and all of that. We are mastering ourselves. So y'all are my Syn-seis. Okay. So we have a great show for you tonight. And you know I don't like to cheers by myself. And even though I don't have my guest co-host tonight, and I don't have any guests tonight because I wanted some QT time with y'all, I got my engineer and my brother here, Eddie. He gonna cheers with me tonight. Cheers!
Yay.
Yes! Hey!
Pinkies up!
Pinkies up! So, okay. If you all didn't know, because I don't say it as much because I have my regular and new followers shout out. The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B is a mission designed to strengthen the foundation of relationships so they can remain unbroken. Okay? We want our relationships to be unbroken. And that doesn't just mean your intimate relationships as far as boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, fiance, but it's also your work relationships, your friendships, your parenting relationships, how you parent with your children, how you co-parent with your co-parent. And those of you who are trying to master life after divorce and all of that. And also, I just recently celebrated my 6-month anniversary on air. And I'm so happy and so proud and so thankful to everyone who has started with me from the bottom, now we're here, and has grown with me. And I have grown consistently and significantly because of you. And that's why tonight's show is about you. So when we come back, we're going to do a little recap over the last 6 months. And you know, I got that 7:30 crazy for you. And I got a new segment that I'm going to talk with you a little bit about a little bit later. And we're going to get into some dating. That's what we're going to start on first. Because it starts with dating first after childhood and all that. We don't jump right into marriage. We jump into dating first. So that's what we're going to talk about when we come back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Hey, Mama B. Hey, Don. Hey, Keenan. Don't forget to tell me when I'm setting up for something. Keenan, I'm gonna need you to spell my name right now. You know me too long. You know me too long. That's right.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously. And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
This is your new favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on. Answer it already. Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Thank you, Keenan.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
Ooh, I know, Mama B. I know about the Bears. Your son's probably watching them right now. Trying to go back and forth. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I'm glad y'all tuning in on Power 108.9. I need you all to follow me at the Syndy B, at THESYNDY, B as in boy, on Instagram. Okay. Hey, healthy nuggets. All right, we about to come back. Y'all got your questions ready? Y'all got your questions ready? Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And it's my 6-month anniversary, y'all. So it's just me and you. We spending some quality time together today. And I've already kind of given you the update of The Unbroken Experience. It's a mission designed to strengthen the family foundation so they can remain unbroken. How did this happen? So I had no intentions of ever being a media personality, radio personality, or anything of that nature. I didn't feel like that was my lane. However, it had been presented to me a few times before, and it was always, it's a no for me. It's a no. But I am always led by my spirit. And once I understood my foundation and my purpose in its entirety, then the platform made sense. And you can't create opportunity, you can't create awareness, and you can't use leverage without a platform to pull someone up on. Whatever that, whatever you need to pull someone up and out of into something new, you got to have a platform, but it's also got to make sense. So that's where the Unbroken experience with Syndy B came from. As far as the radio was already established business, outside of that as a relationship coach. And we taking this thing further and expect new things in 2020, new and better things as well. So over the 6 months, we've had some great guests. We've had Shamari DeVoe, you know her from the group Black back in the day, and also the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and also married to Ronnie DeVoe. We've had Cherie and Carolyn, Cherie, who is a woman of her own right, business owner, also on, I think it was VH1, Football X's or something like that, and a couple other shows, and also Carolyn, who's backup dancer for everybody. Okay. Doctors on Call. I have my daughter and one other wonderful ladies, Milan and Malaya, for the Minion edition. I've had the Millennial edition, where the millennials are on here representing. And also, y'all love that the Gentleman's Club edition is what I called it. The Gentleman's Club edition. And they will definitely be back. So I just wanted to take a second to thank all of y'all for your support, all of the above, and we're going to get on into this dating conversation. So outside of your foundation as a child, when you're coming up with your parents, the next phase as far as an adult is your dating life. Dating was extremely fun for me. However, it had its challenges to remain a single person. So one of the challenges that I face, and I know a lot of you face, and a lot of you put other people in awkward positions, is dating. So first, when you are dating, you need to know what dating means to you. When you say dating, does that mean exclusive? And if it means exclusive to you, you need to know who you're seeing, how they define dating. So I want you to take that into consideration first. First, how do you define dating? Me personally, dating means I am single and I am dating people. That does not mean no matter how much I like someone or how much time I spend with one person in particular, until you ask my permission to be exclusive with me and I give you a yes and you give me a let's go, I'm single. Okay. But there are a lot of people who consider dating exclusive even without having an actual conversation with the other person. So I would say first, when it comes to dating, you need to define it for yourself. Then you need to know how the other person looks at it. And then you need to know where you stand. For me, we are not exclusive until you ask my permission to be exclusive. Why? Because you ain't asked me. You didn't ask me to take on these obligations without my permission. I don't want to consider you if I don't have to. And you shouldn't have to consider me if you don't want to. And if you want to, you need to ask me and I need to agree. So there are a lot of people in relationships where they've been out on 337 dates. And because they've been out on that many dates, they assume they are in a relationship. And that is not very smart. You need to have a conversation that, for example, let's take me and my husband. And I did this in any other past dating. I said to them, do not assume that we are in a relationship. If you want us to be exclusive, you need to ask me. So therefore, that wasn't saying that I want to be right now. It's just saying, don't assume, because if you make me upset, you might see me out on a date with someone else. That's just, and I got the freedom to do that. And you can't.
Savage.
And you can't be mad at me. Now, I will tell you, dating people who do the whole, we've been out on a million dates and now we're exclusive somehow. They would be upset with me. I'm just like, no, you didn't ask my permission. So therefore, I'm free and you're free to do whatever we want. Okay. So that is dating just as the definition by itself. Then there's dating, and then there's dating with a purpose. Okay. So in regards to relationship coaching, I'm more focused on people who are dating with a purpose, but I can also, give you advice if you're just dating and you don't have any intentions of locking it down. You don't want to be in a committed relationship, but you enjoy having, moments with, it could be one or two people. Doesn't mean that you have to be out with 5, 6, 7 men or women, but you don't want the obligations that come with being in a committed relationship, and that's okay. So what is healthy and unhealthy dating? That's on you. It is on you. What is healthy? What is unhealthy is dating someone that you are completely compromising yourself, your beliefs, your values, your dignity, your integrity for. Okay. That's the only thing I say unhealthy, unless you're doing all that and you love it. If you love it, then great, go with it. But if you are finding yourself miserable and unhappy and you're only in the dating phase, you don't have to do that. Like you can just quit. You can just be like, okay, this was great as it lasted, but I'm ready to move on. You don't have to stick in there. You don't have any obligations to stick in there, because really you want to think about, when it comes to dating, how your relationship is in the beginning. That's the foundation into marriage. And for the most part, unless there's significant growth or something along those lines, personal development, it is going to be that times 10 worse. That's my personal opinion. If you're starting off dating and it's early on and you guys are arguing, somebody cheated early on, you're disrespected, you're always fussing and cussing, at each other. To me, there's no reason to do that. Now we're going to talk more about marriage later, but jump more, if you're married and you started off on a great foundation and then you go through a challenge that makes you start arguing with one another, or start, you're losing the love, that you once had. That's something to fight for, because the foundation was started right. It was something that entered into your marriage that caused it. It could be finances. It could be a death in the family. It could be because grief is real. Grief is very real. It could be, some kind of, a job loss, whatever the case may be. That is, you deserve to fight for that, fight for your relationship, fight for your marriage, and fight for each other, because it started on something real and something good and something happy. But if you just dating and you already like that, I just say, this is what I told my boyfriend in college, my first boyfriend. And I realized that I was always upset. I was always upset with him. And he made a lot of decisions that didn't really match up to what I wanted him to do. And so one time finally I said to him, I think I can support you better as your friend. And we have been friends ever since. Like literally, I realized that because I have expectations of a boyfriend and a potential husband, I couldn't support him in his decisions. But as a friend, I can support you. I can do what I can use my resources, because I don't have that kind of, we're not about to do this life together. As far as coming as one, we're not doing this life together. So I can support you as a friend, whatever you go through and anything of that nature. So that is the start of my dating conversation. And I see I got a lot of comments. I'm going to get to those comments. I'm going to try to answer them, and we are going to keep it moving. We're going to talk a little bit more about dating when we come back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Hey, McFadden. I think it was got a lot of responses. That heart makes you cloudy. Okay, dating is about being on the same page, but sometimes what kind of page? Sometimes people view finances differently. Some people view raising kids differently. That doesn't mean that you can't come together and be together. It might mean what I'm missing, you got, and what you're missing, I got. And we make that thing work. That's all I'm saying. It's a key. All right, y'all ready? Ooh, I'm about to read.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. I'm celebrating my 6-month anniversary today of being on the air. I aired February 14th, Valentine's Day this year, and I celebrated. Yes, I will never forget that. Okay. And so August 14th, obviously, I celebrated my 6 months with you guys. And so that is why it's just me and you, boo. It's just me and you tonight. So, all right. So I'm going to jump back into dating because I want to make sure that I get in the questions that you guys have sent to me in my messages and all of that. Okay. So my ladies, should you accept gifts and trips from someone who is pursuing you, but you're not exclusive with? Let me take a little drink on that one. Yes. Okay. All right. So let me say this. I have accepted gifts. Okay, mama. So I accepted a car. I had my first car in Atlanta. Someone gifted me, but I made sure it was in my name. I have accepted flowers, money, jewelry, gifts, jackets, coats. I have. Yes, I have. I'm putting it on out there. Okay. But you have to, but me personally, I never put out. And that is the God honest truth. I never put out. That was on them to give it to me, and they know that I had no intentions of being with them exclusively. So, but as I matured in age and in growth, what I learned is there's things that come with that. So unless you are with someone that knows, like, listen, I know you see other people, and I see other people, but I really like the way that we vibe. This doesn't happen often, but if you happen to run into that kind of person where you have an understanding and you all aren't offended with what you all do in your personal life or outside of each other, then hey, go forward. And if you feel like you want to be intimate with that person, fine. But where I learned, because I had a lot of men upset with me when they gave me all of these things and I did not put out. For me, at that point in time, being younger, I was like, well, okay, and just move on. But as I got older, I found that is not okay. If they have long-term intentions with me, which most of them did. I had a friend call me one day seeking advice. We were probably in our early to mid 20s. And she asked me, Syndy, I have this friend. I've known him for a while. We've been talking on the phone. We hang out when he's in town, et cetera, et cetera. He has invited me on this trip. I don't remember where it was, but it was somewhere international. And she said, should I go? And I said, okay, ask yourself this. Am I going and am I willing to put out? That was the first thing that I asked. I said, if you're willing to put out, then go. That doesn't mean that you are, but you're willing to if it happens. But if you're not willing to put out, then don't go unless you can afford your plane ticket back or you can afford the rest of your hotel or resort stay. Because what could happen is that man say, oh, she's not going to put out. She's going to have to pay her way back. You try to swipe into your car, into your hotel room, and that key card don't work because he done cancel the rest of your stay. And I'm not bringing that up just out the blue. I have heard these stories. So over the years, now I have never been trusting of going out of the country or even state with someone that I was not exclusive with. So I have been offered to travel out of the country, out of the state, things of that nature. And I just didn't go because I'm just not comfortable. I'm not having none of my people that I can call real quick if something go down. However, that is my thoughts on accepting gifts and trips. I really say, if you can handle them talking bad about you, because they might, if you can handle them talking bad about you, because what they wanted you didn't give them, then fine, I guess go ahead. But for the most part, if you're not into them, then you don't really want to spend time with them out of the country and you thinking about and nervous whether they're going to try to make the move on you or anything like that. So that's my thoughts on that. Look, this time is already going by. So when we come back, I got that 7:30 crack. That's 7:30 crazy for you, baby. So I need to know this story and if you think it's 7:30 crazy or not. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Hey, y'all. Hey, the Carter. Hey, Natalie. Okay, so if y'all don't know, 7:30 crazy. 7:30 was a code back in the police days. If someone was acting real crazy on the street. So now it has been kind of transformed into an urban terminology when it comes to dating. If your girl or your guy is acting great. Okay, so I read a story every week, and you tell me if you think it's 7:30 crazy or not. I think this one's kind of. Oh no, this was kind of funny. Hey, Uncle Trip. All right.
And here we go.
Call me crazy one more time.
Laughing while he does it. He turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?"
Boy, you so crazy.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
You ain't seen no sign of him being crazy. Deranged.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. It's that 7:30 crazy time. Okay, this story comes from Fox News. And also, let me take a break real quick. If you're listening to me live and you want to hear what's going on in my ears, you got to look on my page and tune into the studio live to hear everything that's going on. Okay, so a Maryland man was arrested last week after he allegedly rammed his truck repeatedly into the local city hall building because the city turned his water off after he didn't pay his bill, according to the mayor. The man was hit with a slew of charges after the incident, which took place in Taneytown, a city roughly 50 miles northwest of Baltimore. Witnesses told police the man struck the building multiple times with his truck on purpose, an action Mayor Bradley Wantz described as nothing less than a terroristic attack on the city. It is appalling that someone will be willing to endanger the lives of innocent people out of frustration with the city government. Had this incident occurred during the city hall office hours, it is evident from the damage that some of our beloved employees would have been in grave danger. Bernice thought the driver had passed out because the first time he ran in, he put his head down on the steering wheel. Oh, and he was holding the steering wheel 10 and 2. Okay. I proceeded to walk to the truck and say, "Sir, are you okay?" And that's when he told me to get the F away from his truck. And these people want his effing life. The driver was charged with second-degree assault, second-degree burglary, reckless driving, and malicious destruction of property, among other offenses. Okay. So, y'all, do you think that is 730 crazy? Let me know. Eddie.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that 730 crazy to you?
It's crazy, but it's funny too.
It's hilarious.
funny, too.
Okay, so
He
listen.
got mad.
Okay, he probably had, I don't know what he was trying to take a shower after a long day work. He probably working construction or something like that. He like, he was looking forward to that hot shower.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's part of me that feels like, okay, it's a little over the top, but there's a part of me that feels like that's not 730 crazy. If you have ever had your water, electric, or gas turned off,
And y'all know
which
we have.
yes, which I have. You got that electric turned on, make that sound go shoop,
Yep.
shoop. Okay, you be like, oh, shit.
my circuit breaker.
That ain't funny, y'all. That ain't funny, but it's funny. Right. Natalie says 45, 47 crazy. Like kind of, you know,
like, not
like you don't
730
have
all
to
the
take
way.
it that far,
yeah.
you know. But at the same time, okay. So to me, I say we somewhere down the middle, because you know if they're struggling, the last thing you want to do is cut off their electric. But I'm gonna need y'all people to
saying, like, he ain't, at that point he was like, I ain't got nothing to lose.
look. He was like, I can't take my shower for the day. Okay.
I can take a shower in jail.
He like, I get some food, I get some shelter, I gotta pay no rent. I'm going to jail today. Okay. So listen, that was my 730 crazy. So you know, RJ, who is one of my guest co-hosts, she normally does the Atlanta Now report. I don't have the Atlanta Now report, but I'm going to do the popular report. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the celebrity news today and a little bit of my thoughts on it. Okay. When we come back, you're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And we'll be right back.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously, and it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
This is your new favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on. Answer it already. Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests,
Nikki,
and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
Oh, I've never seen that before. I'm ready. Oh, I got you. This is my everyday wine. Can you see it? Yeah, this is my everyday wine. Hey y'all. This is my everyday wine. This is a very good bottle. It's not expensive, but it's really good. Oh, you missed it. We were dying laughing, but you just missed the 730 crazy. Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. Y'all are hilarious, okay? Y'all had me really want to do that cry laugh. Y'all are funny. Okay, so instead of the Atlanta Now report, because I'm going to leave that with my guest co-host RJ, I'm going to do the the popular report. What's going on with our celebrities today? Y'all know I don't talk too much celebrity business because we got enough going on in our regular lives, okay? But there are a couple things that kind of caught my eye. But first, I want to give a shout out to the Boss Man magazine. Shout out to the Boss Man magazine. You can find him on @KaranCash on Instagram. Okay, so first, if you watch The Real, you know of Jeannie Mai. Jeannie Mai, she's the Asian cast member. I know that's right. My mom said, you are a celebrity. I know that's right. But okay, so Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. So you may not watch the Real. Eddie may not watch The Real. I can understand that. But everybody else should know about the show The Real, the talk show The Real. And one of the co-hosts, Jeannie Mai, who is, I'm not sure what Asian. I don't remember
she's the Asian one.
Yeah, she's
that's the one with Bay on. Asian Ballon, and they got the.
That's right. That's right.
Miss Maury on there.
That's right.
That's
right.
Okay, I got you.
That's right. So she was married for 10 years to regular guy, not regular guy, but a white guy.
Okay.
And then they divorced. I think it's maybe been a couple years. And it didn't seem like there was anything like low down or bad.
Nothing crazy. Okay.
But, watching her, I always felt like they weren't a match. And then they have this thing where it's called, Man Crush Monday or something, where they always show a picture of who their man crush was for that week. And it was always a black dude. And her husband at that time was a white dude, So, and you know who Jeezy is.
Of course I know.
I feel like she finally gets to be with who she wanted to be with. But she was stuck in this marriage. I don't know what, back in the day, why she got in that marriage. Perhaps it was because she knew, like you could tell he really, really loved her.
Yeah. That's
so.
It's just interesting though, because when you look at her
and
you look at her who she's with, it's kind of like. We know how.
Yeah, we know how you get down.
Yeah,
okay, we know what you like.
Yeah,
we know what you like. Okay, so Jeannie Mai and Jeezy are in a relationship. Okay, so Chrissy Teigen, someone posted, I guess they were trying to out her or something like that. That Chrissy Teigen locked herself in a room away from her crying kids. And if you are a mom, and anyone who knows me knows I am 100% plus invested in my kids. I am at everything. I give them all that I got. And although they've never made me like stressed out to the point where I'm crying, but there have been times where I'm like, I don't know what y'all about to do, but I'll see y'all later. Sometimes you just got to be like, I need a breather. I need a break. Figure it out. So we're not gonna be mad, and she not embarrassed at all. She's like, yeah, I did that, But my older sister, I remember her telling me, she has 6 kids, and I remember her telling me, she said, Syn, sometimes I just go into the car and cry. I don't know nothing about that, but I can understand. I got 2. I can't do no more. So if I got 3 or plus, I'm probably going to cry too, but I need a break. And then I haven't had a chance to talk about Wendy Williams and her marriage and all of those things. A lot of people talk about, Rachel, you funny. A lot of people talk about how much she puts everyone out on Front Street, but I can say with her and her husband having a child out of wedlock and all of that, there are a couple things I feel about that. She has been able to take what she's dished out. She has been talking about it. If they ask her about it in an interview, she talks about it. She don't hold back any tears. She doesn't hold back any emotion, any tears. She doesn't say, I'm not going to talk about that today or nothing. She just talks about it and she gets through it. If she's too emotional, she's like, I can't handle it today. The other thing was, I remember reading her last book where he cheated on her while she was bedridden with their son. And so there's cheating. In my opinion, there's cheating, and there's just a guy that just low down, And if your wife is bedridden, where literally she has to lay flat so that the baby does not fall out of her uterus. That's why she was bedridden, not because of blood pressure or swollen ankles, but she was bedridden
His son?
Their son.
Ah, that's messed up, bro.
Yeah. You know, yeah. So he out there living his best life while she bedridden and can't go nowhere. And I guess the last one, there's a few other ones, but the last one is when we're talking about relationship, Cassie, who dated Diddy.
Yep.
For so long.
This has been a topic on the station for a good little minute.
Has it? So listen, Cassie dated Diddy for so long, no baby and no marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They break up, and I swear, less than a year, she pregnant and engaged.
Yep.
And so I want
to
listen. I want to tell those people who are in a relationship and dating, it doesn't take that long. And I don't know, they could have had some kind of arrangement, prior to that she outgrew. She could have been okay with it as a young 21-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
but now that she's matured and now she's thinking about family and he's not sure if he wants any more kids. Who knows? Because I wasn't in that house when they're having those conversations. But I can imagine when she was younger that she was okay with certain things and that she outgrew them, and it was something that he couldn't promise her, like he couldn't give to her without a shadow of a doubt. And that woman,
he had already done his.
Yeah, he got his kids.
He had his kids with I forgot her name.
Well, it was about 3 of them. I think three. But Kim, who passed away, and then I think 2 other. But so he had his kids. He felt like he has his legacy. He doesn't have to do any of that, and he couldn't give her perhaps, this is all assumptions, what she wanted, and they split. And now she's about to have a baby. And she is about to be married. Okay, so that is my pop report. I don't know what I'm going to call in the future, but I just thought of it on the top of my head today. Okay, so listen, we're going to talk a little bit more about dating when we come back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
Looking to start your own radio show? Or maybe you'd like to be a guest on one of our current shows. You may even want to tell us what a great job we're doing or how we can do better. Simple solution. Email any requests, bookings, or suggestions to power108.9 at gmail.com. That's POWER108.9. Now let's get you back to the show.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously. And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
This is your new favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on, answer it already. Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
What's up, Chris? Chris, you coming to the class reunion? Hey, Corey. You and Aaron.
Real ass bitch, give a fuck. Hot summer. What Juicy say? Real ass bitch, don't run from me, free. Real ass bitch.
could give a fuck about a bitch. It is what it is. This is 5-star dick.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. That's right, a young 38. Yes, I will be a young 38. Come November 29th, I'm taking all gifts. I love spa. I love wine. I love hotel stays. Thank you. Feel free to message me or send it to the radio station. Thank you. Okay, let's get back into dating because y'all know this time goes by fast and we ain't even gotten past dating yet. Okay. All right. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is, should you let your date pick you up and take you out on a date? So I personally do not agree. I know that's with the whole chivalry thing. He pick you up, you walk outside looking all gorgeous and beautiful and stuff like that. And I think that's nice once you have a level of trust with the person. But I know that when I dated for a long time, that person would not know where I lived. Because if I go out on that date, maybe I got another date after you because I'm single, right? So I don't need to be rushing. I'll be like, okay, I gotta go. Okay, got to go. Or I'm out on a date with you and I'm not really vibing. And I don't want you popping up at my house. Don't pop up on a girl. So I think until you build a level of trust with the person and you're really feeling them where you don't mind them popping if they decide to pop on you, because you don't know if they're 730 crazy or not. So don't have them pick you up. Just meet them there. Just meet them wherever you're going, and you can leave. He can be a gentleman, show you he's a gentleman by walking you to your car at the end of the night. But no, don't let them pick you up. Ooh, okay. This is a discussion that I probably am not on the agreeable side. Do single men have more sex than married men? Okay, so this is how I feel about that. Okay, this is how I feel. Single men, first of all, you ain't having multiple sex per week. I don't believe it. I don't buy it at all. If you are having sex on a weekly basis with 1 to 2 people, you bought that. You purchased that. Okay. So you took her out to dinner. You've been sending texts and phone calls. You probably had no.
Go ahead.
So you probably had a group text with all the girls you dating, like, good morning, beautiful. Don't front. We know all of that. So when you finally do get laid, you put in some extra work to finally get laid. So now, if you're that married couple who go months without having sex, then that's a different story. And you got some other issues that you need to work out. But if you're at a regular married couple, let's say that you're on the low end of sex. Ooh, this is real low. 2 times a month. Let's say you're on the low end of 2 times a month. And that could be for various different reasons. You could be going through things in your marriage, not that you're about to separate or divorce, but y'all in grind mode, or maybe you're an older couple, or whatever the case may be. Sex 2 times a week. That's about what a single man is doing.
Bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly. Y'all fronting. Y'all fronting. Unless y'all putting in multiple dinner dates, multiple group text messages, all of that. Don't front, Eddie. Tell the truth.
No, I would say the fellas who have the extra time and cash, because dating is expensive.
Yes,
everybody knows that. But that have the the disposable income to do that. to just go out on much that they probably doing their thing.
Let me tell you, anyone that I haven't had many committed relationships, but the ones that I have, as soon as we were committed, I'm like, oh no, we ain't gotta do that. Now it's like my money, kind of thing. Like, no, we don't gotta spend $200 on one bottle of wine and a small plate of food. We ain't gotta do that.
That's crazy.
Hey, that's on y'all. Like, I'm gonna teach my son, when he's dating, take them out for coffee. Take them out for coffee or breakfast. Breakfast is cheap. Because ain't nobody want nothing to drink.
Where would you tell them to take them to breakfast though?
Starbucks or some kind of breakfast joint. Like there's some like First Watch is a really nice breakfast joint. And Waffle House is good. But like there's First Watch, there's J. Christopher's.
Yeah.
There's some local brunch spots where it's a really nice vibe, but all you're doing is paying for breakfast food. You're not paying for wine, mimosas, and tequila. You're not paying for any of that, and you can spend just a small amount of money compared to dinner. You take me out to dinner, I'm $150 by itself. Okay. I'm an expensive date. Okay, so anyway, okay. So sex more single than married. I think it's relative, but I don't think unless you're some kind of celebrity and people are throwing themselves at you for whatever reason because of your position, or you're the CEO in the building, CEO of something, then maybe they're throwing themselves at you or something like that. Other than that, single men ain't having that kind of sex like that unless they are paying to take them out and woo them.
Yeah, you gotta get paid. Yeah.
Exactly.
If you got money, you probably doing your thing.
Exactly. So, all right, moving on. So, dating. So you're dating and now you're exclusive. Should you move in? I say it's a hard no. Do not move in. What the hell is going on? Like, don't do that. Now, okay, so let me take that back. If both of you all have no intentions of being married and you're okay with, you're in your relationship and you all understand that, hey, we might break up and somebody got to move out. Where does that happen? Often doesn't. Okay. But women, I know many of you want to be married and you move in thinking that you're going to be married. That is not the answer. I would say that, now I'm not saying that you have to be engaged necessarily to be married, but what I would say is this. If you do decide to move in with each other and you have in your mind that you want to be married, I feel like you should be prepared to move out when that lease is up. If you haven't got that ring, move on out. What you got, Eddie?
So, my personal belief is that you can move in, but you got to have your own spot at the same time.
Now, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got finances for that. Okay.
Because I don't want the whole be prepared to move out. Like, that's cool, but like, I feel bad. Like, if it happens that way, you ain't got nowhere to go.
Well, no, so to me, that's not necessarily moving in. That's like, we both got our own spots, but we spend a lot of time in each other's place.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Like
Okay.
that's the way that I feel like you should do it.
Right.
Yes. But as far as like we merging into one, and if you feel like you want to be married, I'll say if you do it and you don't get what you want by the end of the year or whatever your time frame is, be prepared to move out. Be like, okay, I thought this is what we were going to do, and that's totally fine. We can stay together, but I'm going to go ahead and get my own place because I see that marriage is not where you're going at this point in time. And I'm going to, let's just not live like we're married people. And I can guarantee you, if he don't want to be married to you, he's gonna be like, yeah, that's cool. Or if he wants to be married with you, he's gonna be mad as hell. He's gonna be like, why you want to move out? Like,
yeah, he's gonna be tight.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I did it. I'm just telling you what works. Okay.
She got the keys, y'all, like DJ Khaled.
Listen, I'm telling you what I know works. Okay. No. You got to get into the mind of, you got to know who you're dating, who works with you. And you have to know people to know how it's going to all fit in your life. And you got to be okay with losing. If you decide to walk out and be like, we live together and I'm going to get my own place. And he's like, okay, good. I think that sounds like a good idea. Have your little hurt feelings to yourself and go on and get your own place and walk on out and be okay with losing. You will be fine. If that's not what he wants or she wants, sometimes it's the lady that doesn't want the relationship. That's totally fine. But you got to be okay with losing. If any sense of fear is sensed, you lose. And that's not the kind of loss I'm talking about. I'm talking about you're okay with losing that person to go find the person that really belongs with you.
Ding, ding, ding.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So then also, when I'm talking when I'm giving advice, just free advice to friends or people that I know, or if I'm coaching a client. My advice to single people and my advice to married people are totally different. When it comes to, when I say single, I mean that you're not married. That's what I mean. You might be exclusive in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and it's so hard for me to say that when you're of a particular age, to call you 40-something years old and your boyfriend, but, it is what it is. I don't feel like you have to have the obligation to stick with that person unless you want to. Now, if you want to, that's totally different. But if they're having financial strains, they have a lot of childhood baggage that they need to get through, and they are not doing anything to get through it at all. They've had multiple cheating. I don't call it affairs because you're not married, but they've cheated on you multiple times for whatever reason. You're not obligated to see that through. You're not obligated in a marriage as well, but I feel like it deserves a bit more fight if it was built on a true foundation from the beginning. That's what I feel. So I just wanted to let you all know, when I give advice, I don't hold those who are not married to the same regard. Do whatever you feel like doing at that point in time, because you're not bound by paper. You're not bound by the law. You have not given any vows to anyone and given your word. To me, my word is everything. So I'm definitely going to give it all that I've got before I throw the towel in. But so that's my word for you. If you're in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, you don't have to put up with what you're going through unless you love it. Now, that BS that he or she is putting you through, I need you to love it and not be miserable. So if he or she is putting you through some crazy, crazy stuff, I need you to be smiling every day. If you're going to stay in it, I need you to be smiling every day. But that's my babe, because what I say about that is you don't have to. That's a choice that you got to make on your own, and you have the right to make that. We're not, like I said, you don't have to stay in a marriage and all of that, either, but you definitely don't have to stay with no boyfriend or no girlfriend. Y'all, this first hour went by fast. We are coming to the top of the hour, and I'm going to introduce to you all a new segment. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I call my followers, my people, my leaders, my conquerors, my all of that, my Syn-seis. I need you to follow me to get the full definition of it. I won't waste your time with that right now. But I'm introducing a new segment called What Would Syn Say? Sometimes that's what would I say? What would Syn say? Or what would my Syn-seis? Okay. And so my brother and engineer, Eddie, is going to read off some questions that have come to my DMs. And I'm just going to talk off the dome. I'm going to answer the questions the best I know how. If I don't know how to answer it, I'll be like, I don't really got a good answer for you. Okay. When we come to the top of the hour, we're going to follow and in that direction. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Whatever ones you want. Whatever, yeah, the ones that are numbered. Whatever ones you want. Hey, Tia. Hey, Tia. Huh? Yeah. I'm done with it. Hey, Erica. That's my classmate, y'all. Marriage and Family Therapy and Counseling, master's degree. I see you doing your thing, girl. Y'all ready for these questions? You gotta take notes, okay? And your phone went dead. I think, or it went off. Might be your memory. Hey, Dad. Go to my page. You'll see this one, but you'll also see the studio version that I shared. So there'll be a share button to share. Mom, I think you already shared. Oh, no, you shared. Just have you share a post that I
Dance with my dogs in the nighttime. Trap nigga with the chickens like Popeye. Money
Welcome back. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. Okay, we introducing my new segment today called What Would Syn Say? And my boy, my brother, Eddie, has some questions that you all have sent to me in my my direct messages on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
I don't know which ones he's going to ask, but I'm just going to talk off the dome. If I don't know, I just don't know.
So y'all, all of these questions are good,
Okay.
but some of them hit me different. So first one is, because I did go vegan for a little bit.
Okay.
How do you encourage significant other for lifestyle changes such as diets, vegan, raw foods, etc.?
Okay. So I think that I personally think that the woman is in control of that, if you or whomever does most of the cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're the woman who does most of the cooking, then you have control over what your significant or your spouse eats. For the most part, you can't control what he does at work, when he in the car, things like that. However, on the flip side, like you can't only way you can influence is if you are doing something that it's influencing. Okay. So if the way that you live, let's say that you're a vegan, you ain't lost no weight. You a vegan, you got a bad attitude and you still stank. You a vegan and you ain't sexing me. You ain't sexing me on a regular basis. I don't want to listen to nothing that you got to say. So hopefully you all heard the question was, how do you influence your significant other or your spouse to other lifestyles, such as switching to vegan or switching to raw foods or keto lifestyle, like me and my husband, or things like that. And my opinion is, don't try to influence anyone. You do you. You do you, and
see what happens.
And you can present it to them. Like, for instance, I was the one who wanted to go on the keto lifestyle, but it was something that he knew that my husband knew that I watched for a while, and then I also knew that it's something that he could keep up. I'm not taking away his meat. I'm not taking away, those kinds of things. I was taking away, he has a big sweet tooth and things like that, but I still left him with enough that it would still leave him with enough that he was satisfied. Right. But in that regard, like, do you stop trying to influence people? Like, if you're an influencer, you're just going to influence. You're going to influence people. But if you ain't acting right at home, you got a stank attitude when he or she comes home. You ain't giving it up, and don't nobody want to listen to you. Do something that wants to influence people, and they'll follow you. That's my answer.
Next question.
Okay.
How do you feel about sex on the first date?
Ooh. Okay, so sex on the first date is a no for me, and it's not. It doesn't have. It doesn't have as much to do as my parents would like me to say. It doesn't have as much to do with necessarily values and morals, and it does. But for me, I don't want wasted time. I don't want to have an experience that's not enjoyable for me. So I cannot guarantee sex on the first night, and I don't know you that well, that it's going to be great, or there's going to at least be some kind of connection. So if I've been out with you for a while, at minimum, if it's not that great, I got some kind of connection with you that don't make me want to cut you off. So that's my thing. But hey, you want to do sex on the first night? Go forward. As long as you can live with what comes. If he leave you before the night's over, and don't be in your feelings, or if he stalk you the next day, you got to deal with it all. So as long as you're prepared to deal with what comes the next day, go for it.
How do you keep the intimacy fire burning?
Well, that's different. That's different depending on what you both like. If someone's a planner in the relationship, do the planning. My husband knows that I'm the planner, and he just be like, where we going? Okay, where I gotta be. And I love that he's like that. He lets me be me, and like tonight he's out with the fellas watching the Bears game, I think, and doing all of that, and I ain't got no problem with it. I think when it comes to intimacy, you got to let each other be their individual selves, and then you all have to spend some quality time together that you both enjoy.
On that same topic, how do you tackle touchy subjects in relationships such as finances, weight, amount, sex / intimacy?
Okay, so touchy subjects, that is what it is, but you got to handle it. But there's tact that comes with it, you know. So my approach is always like, I plant little nuggets, I plant little seeds, and then I have the conversation and I say, okay, can we talk about XYZ that's going on? And for me personally, I have thought about it. I have thought about my husband and how he responds to things and how I should bring it to him if I'm the one with the concern. Now, if he's bringing something to me, I work hard at not taking it personal. Like, I make it a conscious effort to know that he loves me. This is how he feels, and I have to accept how he feels, whether it's unwarranted or misguided or misdirected. I have to take it for what it is, accept it, receive it, and explain to him what either my perspective was, my thought process was, or what my idea was, and see if we can come into a middle ground.
Okay, let's do this one. How do you recover? This is a deep one. How do you recover from infidelity and repair a broken relationship? Real quick.
Okay. In boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, I cannot give you advice on that. To me, I'll throw the whole relationship away. That's my opinion. On if you're dating, you're not engaged, your boyfriend and girlfriend, I ain't got to do that, you know. But in a marriage, I would say think back to where your foundation lied. And if it started off on a great solid foundation, there must be something there that you all need to maybe get some counseling for, or get some, the root of what was the real cause. Don't throw that whole marriage away